Player Will.
Welcome back, Visions fans. Ready Player Will here. We have a new patch that dropped today on December 10th. It's the patch that features Riku. Now, not only her unit, but the Vision card as part of the Final Fantasy X-2 collaboration. And I'll be honest, today's patch review is actually pretty straightforward, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time over analyzing it, but I do kick things off typically looking at what the login bonus has. And so they are continuing the 5th anniversary login bonuses where you get some skip tickets, the rainbow cubes. They do have some burst cores here on day one, which I personally do appreciate, but nothing terribly crazy. And then the Final Fantasy X-2 collaboration that's just starting this week. You'll be getting anywhere from 300 to upwards of 500 Visior if you're logging in every day. You will get 20 Final Fantasy X-2 Mind Spheres toward the very end here, and there are 2 days to potentially pick up a one-time Riku summon ticket. So, you know, the daily bonus is always recommended to at least log in daily nonetheless. And the daily purchase bonus is, again, pretty usual. It's 5 Riku shards per day. On day 5, you can get 35 of them, and day 7, if you've done it every single day, you get another 10 of them. This can be done for as low as $1 a day, so I do typically, you know, recommend this for small spenders just to accumulate the shards and what else they have here. And the whale purchase bonus this week is the same as it was last week. It's the 80 UR Mind Spheres for the collab and 20 Rainbow Mind Spheres, which I know a lot of people still really look forward to. So this one, you know, I'm not terribly blown away by, but this is exactly what they normally run, so no complaints in that regard. In terms of shop deals, I'll be honest, nothing really unique this week either, in my opinion. There's nothing new in the special shop quite yet. We're still waiting for the reset of the pack H's and whatnot. They do have a new refreshed X-2 collab shop with Riku, where you can buy her for 12k paid, just straight up here. You also have the other 3k paid bundles for some extra tickets or what you want for the training pack. I already used my 300 paid one-time 10-pull ticket. I do typically just buy that and recommend people do the same. It's one of the cheapest ways to get a 10-pull and just hope that you get the character right there. But everything else is pretty par for the course. Again, I always recommend toggling the Gil filter here, buying everything that you can for Gil. In the JP Deluxe shop this week, you know, they have 2 different paid bundles per day for the 60 paid, where, you know, if you're doing that daily purchase bonus, you can just turn around and use the 60 paid right here. Again, another way to get some experience cubes or rainbow vision spheres. The rest of the packs down here are pretty much what we normally have. I don't think any of these are really exceptional. There's a special one here for a global summon for the Global Festival exclusive units. I would not use this personally. I would stay away from all of those units, quite frankly, as well. But the regular shop, this is basically the standard refresh as well. We're getting more experience cubes this week, which I like. Thumbs up, but we'll always take those. But the rest of these bundles, nothing really brand new this week. You can click through them individually, see if your account needs it, but that's almost it. I mean, you still have your Unishop outstanding, and they did technically add in the new Global Festival shop for any of these older units, as well as their Vision card shards and then the materials for their Job Awakenings. But these characters, not highly recommended to invest in current day, but I'll actually talk more about that right now when we look at the different summon banners. And so you have a bunch of different ones today to make sure to do. The first one is the Day of the Visions. This is on any day that ends in 0 in the month, so highly recommend not only doing this banner, but making sure you go to the far plane and do the event for Day of the Visions as well. You also still have, continuing on, the 5th anniversary pulls here, so do these every day. It's basically free duplicate materials and a chance to have something very lucky drop. In terms of brand new banners, after these are done, you have your Riku banners. And for me, I'm going to filter here to the Final Fantasy X-2 filter on the right. This is, again, the same as always. I always recommend going for the 4-step first on a unit. If you don't get them at this time, then you just go back to the regular banner and you pull till either you get your 2,000 medals or they drop before that, hopefully, and you don't have to pity them, and take those 2,000 medals and exchange them for the unit in the shop. And the same is true for the Vision card. I always recommend doing the step up for the Vision card as well. If you don't get it here, then you go back to the regular Vision card summon banner and do exactly the same thing. Either hope to pull it here or use your 1,000 medals to go pity the Vision card in the Mog shop. Less medals than it is for a character. They did rerun a special paid bundle this week for the 80 UR Mind Spheres and 5 UR guaranteed units or Vision cards. So they do have this for Riku. They alternatively had it for when Yuna was released as well. Not my favorite anymore. I think paid Viz is probably more economically spent on buying the unit outright for 12k paid. But end of the day, obviously it's a judgment call where you want to put your Vizier. But I do want to spend just a minute talking about the global festival units in the banners here. I'll be honest, the global exclusive units at this point in the game, very much power crept. I don't see a lot of upside for most of them. Maybe Starlight Elena for some PvE usage, and maybe a little bit now with what we're seeing with the MA3 coming back. But I'll be honest, I still don't think it's worth the Vizier. I still think it's worth saving. If you ask me, like, Will, out of all these, 8 units, I want to pull one, which is the one that I'm going to get the most return on investment. This is going to sound crazy, I'll be honest. It might be Shadow Lynx on Ice for no other reason than the TMR. Forget the unit. I think this is still one of the few TMRs that I actually use of those groups. It's a cloth type on a pretty large diamond that upon hit grants Dispel Regen and Dispel Haste. For any of your teams that don't have Dispel Haste innately, I have ended up using this accessory on a handful of occasions, but even then, it's a real stretch for value in terms of whether or not it's worth the Vizier. It's probably still a no, quite frankly. Alternatively, though, the Vision cards I think have a more compelling argument why you might want to still pull one of these. They have 2 different banners in which you can go for. The first one is a special feature banner where they really jack up the drop rate of the Vision card, and I'll be honest guys, I'm really good at math. It's a little bit too early for me though to crunch the numbers on the drop rates here, where the Vision card that you select, the odds, if you scroll all the way to the bottom here, the featured select slot that you choose has a drop rate of 0.79 to acquire. So I can't crunch the numbers at this very moment to tell you how likely you are to get that Vision card, a pulling for 2k each. And I'm so sorry, let me interject real quickly before I get too far ahead of myself. There is a paid banner here that on the 3rd step up, you will get a level 120 unit of your choice. So to that point of, if you really wanted one of these units, you can technically pay to get one of them Instamax at level 120. Really not recommended though. But back to the Vision cards, they also alternatively have this one-time guaranteed banner where for a total of 2,000 Vizier, you can guarantee one of these Vision cards. Out of all of them, honestly, a lot of them have held up over time and I still use in some different kinds of content, but I think if you're kind of starting from scratch and really haven't kept up with them, there's really only 3 that I think have any kind of really short-term immediate impact. The first one is actually the Sylvie Vision card, where this is for Dagger, Gun, and Ninja and Sword Red Mage. And so for anyone using Gilgamesh or Jaden, the Magic Human Killer on here is absolutely awesome in addition to what they need for the crit rate. The rest of the units kind of because most of them are more physical damage oriented, so this card does less for them overall, but this is a really good card for that particular type of team. The other one that I think is worth an honorable mention is the Starlight Elena Vision card, where this is actually really similar to the Riku Vision card that dropped today in that it's the 24% evade and 35 slash attack. I think to me this is more likely the sub-slot Vision card that you would use in that Dagger party, but that is a noteworthy amount of evasion, and extra modifiers for those slash type attackers certainly help. So this one I do think is a compelling play if you are going for that Dagger team if you don't have it yet. And the third one, not nearly as strong a case as these other 2, but I am looking at the, coincidentally, Shadow Lynx card a little bit closer than I was in the past. And this is Glove, Dagger, Spear, and Sword Red Mage. The big one for me here is the 24% missile resistance. This card kind of sat on the shelf for a long time because you really didn't need it, but now with missile kind of back into the fold, and there's some pretty compelling classes on here. I mean, this admittedly is a sub-slot Vision card, so again, really a question of is it worth it from a value perspective of what it costs you to acquire, but 40% attack and the 25 crit damage, certainly good offensive components for a handful of the units here too, that out of all the cards, I think these are 3 that I think have the best case for what we're seeing in the game currently, but there's no doubt there are other quality cards here. The Abara card is still excellent for mono lightning, and the Esther card is still exceptional for lightning, and the Starlight Elena card, the original one, not the Fundamental Forces, this one is still an amazing play for mono light teams. So that's not to say you can't pull any of these other ones. A lot of them honestly still hold up over time. It's really just a question of what's best for your account. But that's really it for what we have for patch updates. I mean, today in terms of content is the second day of the mock battle for Grand Arena 5v5. It will officially start. I think it's tomorrow if I recall. And the other honorable mention is that in the multi, we have the new Dark Veritas stage that you will make a party of 4. I think people have done it with Ash and King Mont to clear, 4 of them together. I know it seems like Yuna is a real compelling play as well, just because he's weak to Missile and Light, but we'll see what kind of strategies people come up to clear with that. But that's everything for today in terms of the patch update. Good luck pulling Riku for those of you that are, and I'll make some content and reviews for her today that should be released pretty shortly. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you all soon.